Have you ever found yourself pouring energy, time, and even your heart into a relationship only to feel invisible? You give everything, thinking she'll finally recognize your value, but instead, it's as if she's looking right past you. It's frustrating, isn't it? Maybe you've asked yourself, what am I doing wrong? Why doesn't she see what I bring to the table? Here's the hard truth. The issue isn't just that she doesn't acknowledge your worth. The real question is how you can make her yearn for your presence. This isn't about trickery or manipulation. It's about transformation, stepping into your power, mastering yourself, and letting your true worth shine so brightly that she can't help but crave your attention. Today, I'll reveal 12 time-tested techniques that align with the ancient wisdom of Stoicism and modern psychological insights. These are the methods that make you not just noticeable, but unforgettable. They will shift the dynamic in your favor, leaving her curious, captivated, and yes, begging for your attention. Think about it. Wouldn't you rather be the man who commands respect and admiration naturally without having to chase after it? These techniques are about unlocking that magnetic version of yourself, and once you start applying them, the change will be undeniable. By the time you finish reading this, you'll understand why these principles work and how to integrate them seamlessly into your life. You'll become the man she admires and desires without compromising your authenticity. So let's dive in. 1. Evaluate yourself first. The foundation of irresistibility. Before you can expect anyone, especially her, to crave your attention, you must first turn the spotlight inward. Ask yourself, are you truly living up to your potential? How's your physical health? Your financial stability? Your emotional resilience? A strong foundation starts with self-awareness and relentless self-improvement. Let's be real. A man who knows his worth walks differently, speaks differently, and commands a room without even trying. Confidence is not something you fake, it's something you build through consistent effort and progress. Imagine you're climbing a mountain, not just any mountain, but the one that defines your life's purpose. Are you prepared? Are you equipped with the right tools, or are you still waiting for someone else to hand you the map? Here's the game changer. When you know your value, you naturally set higher standards for yourself and others. You stop chasing after people who don't appreciate you. Instead, you attract those who are inspired by your journey, who see your worth without you having to spell it out. This is the essence of Stoicism, focusing on what you can control, your growth, your actions, and letting go of external validation. Picture this, you've been hitting the gym consistently, working on your career, and dedicating time to hobbies that light you up. You've cultivated a life that you're genuinely proud of. When you walk into a room, people notice not just because of how you look, but because of the energy you carry. She notices too. She sees a man who doesn't need her validation to feel complete. That independence is magnetic. But let's take it further. How do you react when things don't go your way? Do you spiral into self-doubt, or do you see challenges as opportunities to grow? Remember, as Marcus Aurelius said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Every setback is a chance to refine yourself further, to sharpen your character. Here's a thought experiment. Imagine she decides to pull away or test your boundaries. Instead of chasing after her or demanding explanations, you remain calm, composed, and focused on your path. This reaction alone sets you apart. She'll wonder why you're not fazed, why you're not scrambling for her attention like everyone else. And in that wondering, she'll start to see you differently, as a man of substance, a man who knows his worth. When you begin with self-evaluation and commit to growth, you're not just enhancing your life, you're creating a ripple effect that transforms how others perceive you. She'll crave your attention not because you asked for it, but because you become someone she genuinely admires. Are you ready to step into that version of yourself? The journey starts now. Stay with me, because this is just the beginning. 2. Draw her in with your success. The subtle magnetism of ambition. Let's be honest, nothing is more captivating than a man on a mission. A man who knows where he's going and won't let anything or anyone deter him from his path. Success isn't just about wealth or status, it's about progress, purpose, and passion. It's about living a life that excites you, challenges you, and ultimately fulfills you. So ask yourself, what are you working towards? What wakes you up in the morning and keeps you going when the day gets tough? Whether it's excelling in your career, mastering a new skill, or building a side hustle, your drive and determination speak volumes about who you are. Imagine this scenario. You've been pouring your energy into advancing your career. You've just landed a promotion after months of hard work and late nights. Instead of bragging about your new title, you casually mention a challenging project you're leading and how much you're learning from it. Or perhaps you've taken up a new hobby like learning to play the guitar or training for a marathon. And when you share these passions naturally, without seeking praise, it signals to her that you're a man of action, a man who's constantly evolving. Success, when presented humbly, is irresistible. It tells her that you're not stagnant, that you're striving for more, and that your life is rich and fulfilling with or without her. This aligns perfectly with the core teachings of Stoicism. Focus on what you can control, pursue excellence for its own sake, and let the results speak for themselves. Now, here's the beauty of it. As you talk about your achievements, you don't need to impress her. Instead, you're inviting her into your world, a world of ambition, growth, and purpose. I shall be drawn to your passion and the way your eyes light up when you discuss the things you care about. But here's the kicker. You're not doing any of this to gain her attention. You're doing it because it makes you feel alive. That authenticity is what captivates her. She sees a man who doesn't need external validation to feel accomplished, and that self-assuredness is intoxicating. So what's your next big goal? What passion project are you excited to share with the world? Take a moment to reflect on where you're headed and how your journey can inspire others, including her. If this resonates with you, let me know in the comments. What's one success you're proud of right now? Drop it below. I'd love to hear about your journey. And while you're here, hit that like button if you're ready to channel your ambition into something truly magnetic. Remember, your growth isn't just for you. It's the foundation of the connections you build with others. Let's keep moving forward. The best is yet to come. 3. Always present your best self. The power of first impressions. Let's paint a picture. You walk into a room and every head subtly turns to notice you. It's not because you're trying too hard or putting on a show. It's because you've mastered the art of presenting your best self effortlessly. This isn't vanity, it's strategy. It's about understanding that the way you carry yourself tells the world how you see yourself. Now think about this. When was the last time you truly evaluated your appearance and demeanor? From the fit of your clothes to the way you style your hair, every detail matters. Women, whether they admit it or not, notice these things. And why wouldn't they? Your outward appearance is a reflection of your inner discipline and respect for yourself. Imagine two men at a social event. One is wearing a wrinkled shirt, scuffed shoes, and looks like he just rolled out of bed. The other is dressed sharply, his shirt crisp, his shoes polished, his posture confident. Who do you think captures more attention? Who do you think she's more likely to approach or respond to? Presenting your best self doesn't mean you have to wear a suit everywhere you go, but it does mean wearing clothes that fit well, are clean, and align with your personal style. It's about grooming, keeping your beard well trimmed or your face clean shaven, ensuring your breath is fresh, and maybe adding a subtle, pleasant fragrance that leaves an impression long after you've left the room. Here's the thing, it's not just about looking good, it's about feeling good. When you know you're well presented, your confidence naturally rises. You walk taller, speak with more authority, and exude a quiet assurance that's impossible to ignore. This isn't about impressing her. It's about embodying the best version of yourself because you respect yourself enough to do so. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great voices of Stoicism, once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Your external presentation is a reflection of your internal mindset. When you care for yourself, it shows that you value who you are and the space you occupy in the world. But don't stop at appearance alone. Pay attention to your body language. Are you slouching or do you stand tall? Do you avoid eye contact or do you hold her gaze confidently? Non-verbal cues often speak louder than words, and mastering them can elevate your presence in any room. The truth is, when you consistently present your best self, you don't just stand out, you set a standard. She'll notice the effort you put into yourself, and it will intrigue her. She'll start to associate you with someone who has their life together, someone who demands respect without uttering a word. In every interaction, aim to leave an impression that lingers, not because you're flashy or over the top, but because you embody disciplined care and quiet confidence. These are the traits that transform a fleeting glance into lasting intrigue. 4. Take the lead. The irresistible pull of decisiveness. Leadership isn't about dominance, it's about direction. It's about being the steady hand that guides, the calm voice that reassures, and the decisive presence that sets the tone. The women are naturally drawn to men who take the lead, not because they want to be controlled, but because they crave the stability and confidence that true leadership provides. Think about it. How often do you find yourself hesitating, waiting for her to decide, or deferring to her preferences to avoid conflict? So while this might seem considerate on the surface, it often sends the wrong message. It can come across as indecisiveness or worse, passivity. And nothing diminishes attraction faster than a man who seems unsure of himself. Now picture this instead. You're planning a night out. Instead of the back and forth of what do you want to do? I don't know, what do you want to do? You step up. You've already considered her preferences, found a place that suits both your styles, and made a reservation. When you present the plan with confidence, I've booked us a table at this great little spot downtown. I think you'll love it. You're showing her that you're thoughtful, prepared, and in control. Leadership in a relationship isn't about making every decision or overshadowing her input. It's about creating a framework where she feels secure and valued. When you take the reins, you're not just making life easier for her, you're demonstrating that you're someone she can rely on. And that reliability is incredibly attractive. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, famously said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Taking the lead begins with mastering your own mind. It's about confidence in your decisions, even when the outcome isn't guaranteed. When you exude that quiet certainty, others naturally follow. But leadership isn't limited to planning dates or making logistical decisions. It extends to emotional leadership too. When conflict arises, do you escalate the tension, or do you navigate it with calm and clarity? When she's upset, do you react impulsively, or do you listen, process, and respond thoughtfully? Emotional leadership means being the steady anchor in turbulent times, offering support without losing your own composure. Here's a key insight. When you lead with confidence, you invite her to join you on your journey. You're not dictating her path. You're inviting her to walk alongside you, knowing that you'll both thrive together. This balance between guidance and partnership creates a dynamic that's both empowering and deeply connected. Taking the lead also means embracing responsibility. If plans don't go perfectly, own it with grace. She'll respect your accountability and the fact that you're not afraid to admit when something doesn't work out. This humility, paired with your decisiveness, reinforces the trust and admiration she feels for you. Ultimately, leadership is about showing that you have a clear vision for your life and the confidence to pursue it. When you embody this trait, you set a standard that few can resist. She'll feel drawn to your strength, inspired by your decisiveness, and secure in the knowledge that she's with someone who knows how to navigate life with purpose and poise. 5. Stop seeking validation. The freedom of inner confidence. Here's a truth most won't tell you. The moment you stop chasing validation, you become infinitely more attractive. Why? Because people, especially women, are naturally drawn to those who are secure in themselves. A man who doesn't need constant approval radiates a quiet confidence that's magnetic. He's the kind of man who doesn't live for others' opinions, and that, my friend, is irresistible. Now think about your interactions. How often have you caught yourself seeking her approval, whether through compliments, constant check-ins, or even asking, "Did you like that?" It might seem harmless, But each time you look outward for validation, you inadvertently diminish your inner strength. The truth is, the more you seek approval, the more it eludes you. Let's flip the script. Imagine you're out with her, and instead of trying to say the perfect thing or make her laugh at every turn, you focus on being present, listening, and speaking from a place of authenticity. You're not performing, you're simply being yourself unapologetically. She notices your self-assuredness, your calm demeanor, and the way you hold space in a conversation without needing to dominate it. This is the essence of true confidence, and it's deeply rooted in Stoicism, finding your worth from within rather than from external sources. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, once said, "Any said good in external things, seek it in yourselves." When you internalize this, you no longer feel the need to impress or entertain to gain someone's favor. Instead, you become the kind of man who is enough as he is, and that's the man she can't help but be drawn to. Here's the beauty of this mindset shift. When you stop seeking validation, you free yourself from the exhausting cycle of people-pleasing. That you begin to enjoy the moment for what it is rather than constantly analyzing how she perceives you. Ironically, this detachment makes her more likely to seek your approval. She starts wondering, why isn't he trying to impress me? What makes him so sure of himself? That curiosity turns into attraction. Now take a moment to reflect. Have you ever felt the need to prove yourself to someone? How did that feel? Imagine letting go of that need entirely. Imagine stepping into every interaction, knowing you're already enough, that your value doesn't hinge on anyone else's opinion. That's the kind of energy that changes the dynamic completely. If you're ready to shift from seeking validation to living authentically, let's hear your thoughts. What's one area of your life where you've learned to find confidence within yourself? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear how you've embraced your inner strength. And if this idea resonates with you, hit that like button to show you're ready to leave validation seeking behind. Remember, your worth isn't determined by how others see you. It's defined by how you see yourself. Let's keep growing, one confident step at a time. 6. Keep her guessing. The allure of mystery and unpredictability. Predictability is comfortable, but comfort doesn't spark desire. If she can anticipate your every move, every word, and every reaction, the excitement starts to fade. Mystery, however, is intoxicating. It pulls her in, keeps her curious, and leaves her wanting more. The key to becoming irresistible isn't to lay all your cards on the table, it's to hold a few back and let her wonder. Now you might be thinking, how do I create this sense of intrigue without playing games? The answer lies in balance. It's not about withholding affection or being distant, it's about varying your behavior and responses in a way that keeps her engaged. So one day you're fully attentive, deeply invested in her stories, and showering her with thoughtful compliments. The next, you're a little more reserved, focused on your own pursuits, and leaving her room to miss your attention. This push and pull dynamic mirrors the natural ebb and flow of interest. When you're always available, always predictable, you risk becoming just another constant in her life. But when you introduce moments of unpredictability, you create a dynamic where she never quite knows what to expect. And in that uncertainty, her mind stays on you. Let's break this down with an example. Suppose you've established a routine array nightstick her every night before bed. The one night, instead of sending your usual message, you focus on your personal project or spend time with friends without informing her. The next morning, you simply text, "Hope you had a great night. I was caught up in something exciting, can't wait to share." Or suddenly she's curious. What kept him busy? Why didn't he text last night? That small deviation from the norm reignites her interest. This approach isn't about being cold or manipulative. It's about maintaining a sense of individuality and showing her that your life is full and fulfilling, with or without her. When she sees that you're not entirely predictable, she starts to pay closer attention, looking for clues about what you're thinking or planning. She becomes an active participant in the relationship dynamic, rather than a passive recipient of your affection. The Marcus Aurelius touched on this balance in his teachings on Stoicism. The art of living is more like wrestling than dancing. Life and relationships require adaptability, strategy, and a bit of tension to remain engaging. The same principles apply here. You're not creating conflict, but you are creating a space where she has to stay mentally and emotionally engaged. Think of it like reading a great novel. If the plot is too straightforward, you lose interest. But if there are twists, unexpected developments, and layers to uncover, you're hooked. By keeping her guessing, you become that compelling narrative she can't put down. Ultimately, the goal is to keep things dynamic and exciting without falling into a pattern of monotony. When she's intrigued, she'll naturally invest more of her energy into understanding you and staying connected. It's in those moments of uncertainty that her interest deepens and her desire for your attention grows stronger. 7. Harness the fear of missing out. Showcase a life she wants to be part of. People are naturally drawn to excitement, adventure, and the promise of new experiences. When your life is vibrant and fulfilling, it sends a powerful message. You don't need anyone to complete you. This independent, exciting energy is exactly what makes others, including her, crave to be part of your world. The fear of missing out, or FOMO, is a subtle but potent tool in attraction. By living a life full of engaging activities, meaningful experiences, and personal growth, you create an environment that others want to be included in. The beauty of this approach is that it's not about flaunting or trying to make her jealous. It's about genuinely enjoying your life and letting that joy naturally radiate outward. Imagine this. You've recently taken up a new hobby, rock climbing, salsa dancing, or perhaps weekend road trips to explore hidden gems. You share snippets of these adventures, maybe a photo of a breathtaking view from your latest hike, or a quick story about a spontaneous adventure that led to an unforgettable night. You're not giving her a play-by-play, you're offering glimpses into a life that's rich, dynamic, and full of stories worth telling. When she sees these moments, it triggers a sense of curiosity and, more importantly, a desire to be part of that excitement. What's it like to experience life with him? What adventures could we share her? These thoughts begin to form in her mind, drawing her closer without you having to say a word. But here's the key: balance. Overdoing it can come off as boastful or attention-seeking, which dilutes the effect. Instead, focus on authenticity. Share your life in a way that reflects your genuine passions and interests. It's not about posting every detail, but rather showcasing the highlights that naturally arise from a life well lived. This strategy aligns beautifully with the principles of Stoicism. As Epictetus reminds us, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. You don't need to justify or seek approval for your lifestyle. Simply live it and let your actions speak for themselves. When you focus on enriching your own experiences, the right people will be drawn to you, not because you're seeking their attention, but because your life resonates with them. Here's another angle. By highlighting your fulfilling life, you subtly communicate that your happiness doesn't hinge on anyone else's presence. You're not sitting around waiting for her to fill a void, you're actively creating joy and meaning for yourself. This independence is both rare and highly attractive. Moreover, showcasing your vibrant life encourages her to step up. She'll start to wonder how she can fit into this exciting narrative you're crafting. The idea of being left out of your world becomes a powerful motivator for her to seek your attention and companionship. Ultimately, the fear of missing out isn't about manipulation, it's about embracing the richness of life and inviting others to join you on your journey. By living fully, you naturally inspire others to do the same, and she'll find herself drawn to the energy and passion that define your world. 8. Flip negatives into positives. Turn challenges into connection opportunities. Every relationship, no matter how strong, encounters moments of friction. Maybe she's in a bad mood, or perhaps a comment you made didn't land the way you intended. Here's where most men stumble. They react defensively or try to smooth things over with excessive apologies. But what if you could turn these moments into opportunities to deepen the connection instead? This is where the art of flipping negatives into positives comes into play. It's not about ignoring the issue or brushing it under the rug. And it's about reframing the situation in a way that shifts the energy and draws her closer to you. For example, imagine she's upset because you were late to a date. Instead of diving into a series of excuses or over-apologizing, you could say, "You're right. I could have managed my time better. But hey, doesn't it make this moment even better now that I'm finally here?" This response acknowledges her feelings while lightening the mood and refocusing on the present. It shows accountability without losing your composure. Or let's say she makes a playful jab about your outfit. Rather than getting defensive, you can smile and respond with, "You've got a good eye for style. Guess I'll need you to help me pick my next wardrobe upgrade." What have you done here? You've taken her critique and turned it into a collaborative, fun opportunity. Now, instead of creating distance, the moment becomes a shared joke, something that builds connection. This technique aligns perfectly with Stoicism, particularly the philosophy that what stands in the way becomes the way. Obstacles aren't meant to halt progress, they're opportunities to grow and improve. In the context of your relationship, these small frictions become moments to show your emotional resilience and charm. But this approach isn't just about diffusing tension. It also shows her that you're someone who can handle challenges with grace. You're not rattled by minor hiccups or easily thrown off course. Instead, you remain composed, even playful, in the face of adversity. This calm confidence not only earns her respect, but also makes her feel safe and understood. Now, I want you to think about a time when a small misunderstanding or critique turned into a bigger issue than it needed to be. How might things have changed if you had approached it with this mindset? Drop your thoughts in the comments, share a time when you flipped a negative into a positive, or let me know which of these techniques you're excited to try. And if this idea resonates with you, hit that like button to let me know you're ready to transform every challenge into an opportunity for connection. Remember, relationships aren't about avoiding conflict, they're about navigating it with confidence and care. Let's keep building those skills together. 9. Delay your responses. The power of patience and self-control. In today's world of instant gratification, where notifications ping endlessly and conversations flow in real time, there's an unspoken expectation of immediacy. But here's the secret: true confidence doesn't rush. A man who is secure in himself understands the value of patience and the power of a well-timed response. When you delay your replies, you send a subtle but powerful message: my life is full and my time is valuable. This doesn't mean you're playing games or intentionally ignoring her. It means you're prioritizing your own activities and responsibilities, showing that your attention is earned, not given away lightly. Imagine this scenario. She sends you a text in the middle of your workday. Instead of dropping everything to respond, you stay focused on your task. Later, when you've completed what you set out to do, you take a moment to craft a thoughtful reply. By doing this, you're showing her that while she's important, your priorities and commitments come first. This balance is key to maintaining mutual respect and intrigue. This approach taps into the principles of Stoicism, particularly the idea of controlling your impulses and focusing on what you can manage, your time and attention. Marcus Aurelius reminds us you have power over your mind, not outside events. By choosing when and how to respond, you exercise control over the dynamic, ensuring that your interactions are deliberate and meaningful. Delaying your responses also introduces an element of anticipation. When she doesn't hear from you immediately, her mind begins to wonder, what's he doing? Why hasn't he replied yet? This curiosity builds interest and keeps her engaged. And when your reply finally arrives, it holds more weight because it's not part of a constant stream of back and forth. But let's be clear, this isn't about manipulation or creating unnecessary distance. It's about setting healthy boundaries and demonstrating that you have a life filled with purpose and engagement. By responding on your terms, you're showing her that your time is spent intentionally, and that's an incredibly attractive quality. Even in longer-term relationships, this principle remains valuable. It helps prevent complacency and ensures that communication stays thoughtful and purposeful. When you're not constantly available, your interactions naturally become more engaging and impactful. Ultimately, delayed responses are a small but powerful way to assert your independence and maintain a dynamic where both of you value each other's time and attention. In a world where everyone is rushing to reply, being the man who pauses and responds with intention sets you apart, and keeps her coming back for more. 10. Harness the fear of missing out. Create a life she doesn't want to miss. One of the most powerful tools in attraction is the subtle, yet undeniable pull of FOMO, fear of missing out. When you're living a life that's vibrant, engaging, and full of experiences, it creates a natural allure. People, including her, will feel an inherent curiosity and a desire to be part of that world. The essence of this principle is simple. You don't chase attention, you attract it by being fully immersed in your own journey. Think about the last time you scrolled through social media and saw someone you admire sharing a highlight from their life. A breathtaking trip, an exciting project, or even just a joyful moment with friends. Didn't you feel a pang of curiosity, maybe even a bit of envy, wondering what it would be like to be there? Now imagine being that person in her eyes. By pursuing your passions, embracing new challenges, and sharing glimpses of those experiences, you're not just showcasing a fulfilling life, you're inviting her to see what she might be missing. But there's an art to this. It's not about oversharing or boasting, it's about letting your life speak for itself. Share a photo from your latest hiking trip, but let the image do the talking. Mention an exciting project you're working on, but keep the details light, leaving room for her curiosity to grow. The goal is to spark her imagination, to make her wonder what it would be like to share those moments with you. This strategy aligns beautifully with Stoicism. The Stoics taught us to focus on what we can control, our actions, our pursuits, our personal growth, and to let go of the need for external validation. When you live by these principles, you naturally cultivate a life that others are drawn to, not because you're seeking their approval, but because your energy and passion are magnetic. By living fully and authentically, you create an environment where she begins to see the value of being part of your journey. As she starts to realize that your world is exciting and dynamic, and the fear of missing out begins to take hold, she'll want to experience the joy and adventure that you bring to your life, and she'll want to share it with you. Ultimately, harnessing the fear of missing out isn't about making her feel left out. It's about inspiring her to join you. When you live with purpose and passion, your life becomes a compelling story, one she won't want to miss. 11. Keep your emotions in check. The strength of emotional resilience. Emotions are powerful. They can build bridges or burn them down, deepen connections or drive people apart. But here's the thing. The way you handle your emotions, especially in moments of tension or uncertainty, can define how she perceives you. While it's natural to feel deeply, letting your emotions control your actions can often lead to regret or diminished respect. Picture this. You've just started seeing someone and everything seems to be going well. Then, out of the blue, she becomes distant. Most men in this situation panic. They send a flurry of texts trying to understand what went wrong, or they overly express their feelings, hoping to pull her back. But this reaction often has the opposite effect. It pushes her further away. Now imagine a different response. Instead of letting your emotions dictate your actions, you take a step back. You acknowledge your feelings privately but choose to approach the situation with calm and clarity. You don't bombard her with messages or seek constant reassurance. Instead, you remain composed, focusing on your own life and trusting that clarity will come in time. This kind of emotional stability is rare, and it speaks volumes about your confidence and self-assurance. This is where the wisdom of Stoicism becomes invaluable. The Stoics believed in maintaining control over what you can influence, your reactions, your mindset, and your actions, while letting go of what you cannot. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." By mastering your emotions, you show her that you're not easily swayed by external circumstances, that you're a man who can weather any storm with grace. But keeping your emotions in check doesn't mean suppressing them. It means expressing them thoughtfully and at the right time. For instance, if you're feeling hurt or uncertain about where you stand with her, instead of acting out impulsively, you wait until you're in a calm state to address the issue. You might say, "I've noticed some distance lately. I value our connection and want to make sure we're on the same page." So this kind of measured communication shows emotional maturity and invites her to engage in a meaningful dialogue without feeling pressured or overwhelmed. The women are naturally drawn to men who exhibit emotional resilience. It signals strength, reliability, and the ability to handle life's challenges without falling apart. I shall see you as someone who can provide stability in uncertain times, someone who doesn't let fleeting emotions dictate long-term actions. Moreover, by maintaining your composure, you subtly shift the power dynamic. When she sees that you're not desperate for her approval or constantly seeking reassurance, her curiosity grows. She starts to wonder what makes you so centered, so calm in the face of uncertainty. And in that curiosity, her interest deepens. Ultimately, emotional self-control is one of the most attractive traits you can cultivate. It shows that you're in charge of your own happiness and that your sense of self-worth isn't tied to anyone else's actions. By embodying this principle, you not only gain her respect but also position yourself as someone she can't help but be drawn to. 12. Skip the why. Embrace acceptance and move forward with dignity. Breakups, rejections, or moments of emotional withdrawal can leave you searching for answers. And you want to know why things didn't work out, why she pulled away, or why she chose a different path. It's human nature to seek closure, but here's the truth. Asking why often leads to more frustration than clarity. When you ask her for reasons, you're not just looking for answers, you're also giving away your power. You're putting her in a position where she controls the narrative of your self-worth. And let's be honest, the explanations you receive, "It's not you, it's me," or "I just need space," rarely bring the peace you're searching for. They're often vague, leaving you even more unsettled. Instead of fixating on the reasons, consider a different approach. Acceptance. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, offered a profound insight. Accept the things to which fate binds you and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart. Acceptance doesn't mean you're indifferent or that you stop caring. It means you understand that some things are beyond your control, and that's okay. Imagine this. She decides to end the relationship, and instead of questioning her or seeking explanations, you simply say, "I respect your decision. I wish you the best." This response not only preserves your dignity, but also shows her that you're someone who values their own self-respect over seeking closure. By skipping the why, you shift your focus from external explanations to internal growth. You use the experience as an opportunity to reflect, improve, and come back stronger. This self-assured attitude is incredibly compelling. It shows her, and anyone else observing, that you're not defined by someone else's choices. You're defined by your ability to rise, adapt, and thrive. Furthermore, when you handle a breakup or rejection with such poise, it leaves a lasting impression. She'll remember your grace and strength, and in some cases she may even reconsider her decision. But here's the best part. By then you'll have grown so much that you'll attract people and opportunities that truly align with your value. In the end, life is about moving forward with purpose, not getting stuck in the past. When you embrace acceptance, you free yourself from the weight of unanswered questions and open the door to new possibilities. And that in itself is a powerful and magnetic quality. You've now unlocked the blueprint to make her crave your attention without chasing, pleading, or losing yourself in the process. These 12 techniques, rooted in both timeless wisdom and modern insight, are about more than attraction. They're about becoming the kind of man who commands respect, admiration, and genuine desire by simply living authentically. As you incorporate these principles into your life, remember that true power comes from within. Whether it's mastering your emotions, leading with confidence, or creating a life so fulfilling that others want to be part of it, you're building a foundation that goes far beyond fleeting attention. You're stepping into your full potential, and that journey is where the real magic happens. Now it's your turn. Put these strategies into action and see how they transform not only your relationships, but your entire approach to life. Stay strong, stay true, and always remember, the most attractive man in the room is the one who knows his worth and lives by it.